Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome. I'm Gurpreet from Pegasus Wellbeing Club, and it's a pleasure to have you all with us today. Today, let's explore an important question. Is the real challenge the screen, or it is that we are unable to build the right habits consistently for our children? In the next 30 minutes, we will discover how small, everyday routines can shape a child's brain, behavior, confidence, and future. To guide us through this journey, we have with us Ms. Bhumika Jain, an early years education expert with 24 years of experience. Let's warmly welcome Ms. Bhumika, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Hi, Gurpreet. Thank you so much for calling me here today. It's a pleasure to be, being a coach and a parenting expert for people who want to understand more about how children grow and how children can create habits. So we will take you through a presentation where I will share my insights about how we can grow children with constant habits and consistently making the children do things which they should do every day. So here I'm going to share. Now the PPT is visible.
Yes.
Okay, great. So when we talk about, one second. So, when we talk about children, it's very important for us to understand that children do not get habits, get into better habits till the time they are consistently using things and they are consistently talking about it. We as adults also, when we get into a habit of getting up early in the morning, going to work, or maybe a general activity which we do every day is very important. But then if we are not doing it consistently, it's not easy for a child to get that habit. So here, that is what we are going to share today. So consider a child, his name is Arav. He's just 4 years old. He wakes up in the morning, ask for a phone. Why would
Okay.
he ask for a phone? Because we have been using a phone every day in the morning. We have been scrolling. We have been wanting the child to not ask for the phone, but we are doing the same thing. While eating, we are all taking our phone and using, or maybe we are sitting in front of the television and then we are watching, we are eating. So it's very important for us to understand that, the child will also do whatever we are doing at home. So why will he ask for a phone? Because he's getting bored after 5 minutes of coloring or doesn't want to read. So does it sound familiar to everyone? It's very important that we see that why is he feeling lonely or why is he feeling bored of some activity. So, what a parent sees normally when a child is not into a habit, they are mostly restless. The screens are very, very easily available to them. They have a very short attention span. The visible symptoms are, that the child does not want to be with the parent. They want to just lie down on the bed. They don't want to talk to anybody. They are with the remote, they are just sitting and scrolling over the television. They are watching a cartoon. So this is something which we as parents we see this is common in our children. um what does it mean when we build a habit? So the child may want to read, the child may want to have a conversation, the child may want to be calm and repeat everything every day. So it's not only about reading or having a conversation or just doing habits in a form of education. The habits can be anything. The habit can be maybe putting their bag in place, maybe putting their uniform in place. Maybe the child has the habit of putting his things where they belong. Or maybe we can say the child has the habit of reading every day. So these are basic habits what we expect from a child. So I am sure we all know that by the age of 5, nearly 90% of the brain is developed. Every repeated experience strengthens brain connection. Why do
Sure.
we say that? So that is why the early years are called the brain development years. A
Exactly.
developing brain forms up to 1 million new neurals, neurals connections every second during this time. These connections shape how your child thinks, how your child learns, how they react to things, and how they feel. So it is very important that we make these early years very important and fruitful for them. So, when we talk about brain development, is there are certain things which are very important for the children. One of them is repetition. If you
Repetition.
have been in schools, you see that we keep doing a circle time every day. We, I am sure everybody who goes to a school, every teacher, she does a circle time every morning. Why do we do that? It is because we are doing a repetition for a child. So it's again the same thing, that the repetition means that the child is able to um, you know repeat all the rhymes. They are able to understand what they are learning. They are able to make sure that whatever they have been asked to understand, they have grasped it very well. So that's so important in a school. So that is the reason the teacher keeps repeating the rhymes, the teacher keeps repeating the numbers, the letters. So that's how a child learns. So why not have habits as a repetition? So it's not just about IQ, it's about emotional strength. It is about problem solving and confidence. So studies show that early stimulation through love, play, nutrition helps children perform better in school later. So that's the reason why we say if the child has heard of something in the early years, they will always learn this and keep this in their mind forever. So the brain loves repetition. So the brain is built to save energy, you know. And it's not about, again, I will repeat, it's not about only learning. It's not about only energy, education. The energy can be anything. It can be love, that affection you give the child. I always remember that my son used to come and tell me that, ma'am, mama, I love Babita ma'am. Why was that? Because the child was loved by her. He
Loved
was,
by.
she was giving so much care to the child that he always liked being with her. So normally, as a parent, what we do, I mean, this is something which is normal in every household. And we think that, children get better and they like all this. But there are, pros and cons to these activities. So we will, just with few lines, we will understand how we can do this. So thinking these will build good habits, that's not true. Like buying expensive toys, entertainment doesn't replace meaningful experience. So toys is very good. They can play with the toys, but they are a play activity. They are not for a habit, right? So when we talk about enrolling children to too many classes, I want my child to become a cricketer, but the child doesn't want. The child may want to have a different habit. So the child may want to go to some other class, or the child may want to sit back home and read, or child may love to do creative activities like drawing, painting. uh, but as a parent, what we normally do is we create a busy schedule for the child. And whether it is the interest of the child, or it is his skill, but we try our level best, the child should be busy. But that's not something which, will build habit. Rather, the children will step back, and they will retaliate of not going to the session or not going to any of the classes. So that's something very important. Then comes giving screens, keep them occupied. Like, I have seen a lot of households where uh, parents give a phone or a tab to the child. Uh, Please sit and please eat properly. So that's not very important. If a child is, and it is not even good for their nutrition. So we have to understand, when you're giving a tablet or a phone to a child while eating, their mind is in two places. They don't even know where they are eating, what they are eating, what is the nutrition about it, how their fine motor skills will develop, because they are not understanding what they are picking up, how they have to pick it up. They are just eating because their focus is on the screen. So it's not a very good idea to give them screens while eating. Then comes solving every problem for them. I mean, I'll give you a very simple example. When a child is putting on the shoes, sometimes what happens is, we will tell our help, Didi, why don't you make him wear the shoes? Why do you want the Didi to do it? Let the child do it. Let the children learn confidence by trying, not by being rescued, not by telling somebody else to do something for them. So that's also a part of getting into something that is called problem solving. So it's very important for them. Then comes reward with a gift or a chocolate or something. But again, external rewards can reduce motivation. So we should reward them, but not always and for everything. Rewarding is always good when the child has done something very, very exclusive. Then we come to compare them with other children. That's something which is very common in our Indian families. If you see, the best is that, they will say that that child is going for lawn tennis, or going for skating, or going for football. You're not going. You will not become strong. So that's not something which we should do with the children, because it lowers down their confidence. It creates pressure in the child. So I don't think we should be doing all these things. So these are just few points we shouldn't be doing with our children. So our key message here is that children don't build habits through expensive resources. They build them through consistent daily experiences, repetition, and positive role models. So please remember, parents, these are just few points. You may think of more things which you feel you do at home are not important. So these are some small repeatable moments captured from real family life. So if we say that, we should be doing these activities, these are very simple activities we should be doing at home. So first is reading. I believe if the child is reading every day, and please, parents, understand, reading does not mean reading a storybook. Reading can be any. Reading can be a newspaper. I remember when I used to travel with my children, I used to tell them, why don't you read the hoarding? So, reading means any kind of reading. So, don't force them to read a book only. They have to read in any way, may it be a newspaper, may it be a magazine, may it be a hoarding, may it be a banner, anything. So daily reading would build their vocabulary, their imagination, and lifelong love for reading, for that matter. Because if they are reading from the beginning, they will definitely want to read books and novels. So that's a very good way of consistently doing reading. Then comes conversation. So as parents, I understand we are all busy, we are all working, Nowadays, everybody in the family is almost like mother, father, everybody is working. But having a conversation does not mean sit with them, have a conversation, but at least reply to them when they are asking you a question. This it goes for the teachers also. I have seen in the classrooms when a child comes to the class and he says, "Okay, ma'am, why is it here?" We will say, "No, no, no, don't talk about this late. We will talk about this later." Why do we say that? It's a conversation the child is trying to build. He is strengthening his language. He's gaining confidence to come and ask you why we are doing this. So don't revert back saying, "No, we are not going to talk about it," or "We will talk about it later." There you've stopped the thinking of the child. He might be wanting to talk about it, he might be wanting to understand more about it. So why not have a conversation? Or maybe a small sentence you could say that, "Oh, you like it? We can maybe talk about this later, but then I am going to, cater to this when we are talking about it more." So that's the idea. Then comes your play. uh, Playing together without screens is the best thing. Actually, we have all forgotten board games. We have all forgotten what we used to play when we were younger. Nowadays, even post COVID, I think all the games are on online. Even the children know very well how to play Ludo on a phone, how to play Scrabble on the phone. Please don't do that, parents. Please play on games, board games. They are so good for the children. It is a creative activity which encourages social skills, critical thinking. Please work on board games just about 20 minutes. Just sit with them, play any kind of game. Then comes problem solving. Problem solving is basically that you can again, I would not say that problem solving will only happen when you give them puzzles or you give them other activities to play. Rather, I would say just give them daily tasks, small responsibilities to nurture independence. Like I previously said, ask the child to keep the shoes in place, ask the child to take out the uniform from the cupboard, ask the children to keep their plate back when they have eaten. So these are small problem solving skills. Then comes consistency. So maintain consistent sleep routine. That is so important for young children. We need at least 12 to 14 hours of sleep. As adults, we may have parties, may have dinners at home, but for the children, it's very important. Please, the brain will only work if it has had a good rest. So please do that. Then comes responsibility. So instead of pushing them to activities, as I just said, please do not push them to activities which are, not of their interest. These simple daily habits will help the children do a lot of responsibility. They understand a lot of responsibility. So please do very simple activities at home. Um, so we are talking about the habit spotlight. So as I said, one screen-free meal. We should do it every day. Pick one meal a day without phones, just conversations, just connections around the table. And we are grateful that in Indian families we have grandparents, we have parents, we have siblings. So please take that opportunity to have a conversation with everybody. So this is not screen time reduction. It is basically building habits in the children. So just take a decision to have just one meal together with the child. You also eat and let the child also eat and have a conversation about that meal. Then comes your family game or puzzle. Every Sunday, make it a ritual that We will sit, we will play a board game, we will play a puzzle, or maybe read books together, or maybe we will go for a walk. That's also a part of a habit. So every Sunday, go to any activity which you feel. Nowadays it's so important that our physical health is also one of the important thing. So why not go for a yoga? So just do one activity every, make it a weekly task to, to do it with the children for 1 hour once a week. Why activities aren't enough? So when we talk about craft sessions, they just don't build creativity. They are just, the children are just creating things. A child who would express ideas boldly, or the child would express through creativity. So creativity can be anything again. I am not saying sit with paint or colors or pencils and everything with the child. You may do a creative activity, like I just said. Maybe go. I remember playing, Stapu, and games like, a lot of games which we used to play outdoors. So why can't we do some creative activities like that? Create a obstacle course for a child, go on that obstacle course for with the child. That's also being creative. So that's the kind of experience the child should have, and these can be repeated in different ways. So I think it was a very small interaction here. So I would always say small changes make big future. The impact of one small daily habit is hard to see in a week. Look ahead for 1 year, because we are not talking about a habit to be built in 1 month. The habit has to be built in recurring months. So it can't be done in 1 day or 1 month or a 1 week. So you should always think, what is the habit going to do for the future? So if we talk about a year, 60 hours together, just 10 minutes of reading each day over 1 year. And then 365 stories shared. So that is so wonderful that the by the end of the year, I'm sure the child will have something creative in the stories. You will not hear something which is very common in the stories. So have that experience. Maybe 1 million words the child would learn. And as they grow, they learn better words. I mean, I can say that, me having Gen Z's children, there are so many words we don't even know. So why not develop this vocabulary? There'll be a dramatic change in their vocabulary. So make sure that they learn a lot of words. And a simple conversation also can make them learn words. So this is like a 7-day childhood unplugged challenge. So I suggest all parents to do this. 7 days, seven small meaningful moments together. So maybe day one, read before the bed. Day two, board or card game. Day three, a nature walk. Day four, maybe cook something together. Day five, make an art together, maybe a creative activity, maybe a painting, maybe a drawing, anything. You can also paint the wall. You can also paint your table. It's such a beautiful activity. So then day six, do a yoga together. Day seven, you can have a screen-free evening. So one family, 1 week, seven small moments closer to together. Every family builds habits, whether intentionally or not. Your daily routines are already shaped. So you have to just bring in these habits every day in the. So the question is, are they the habits you want, or are they just tasks? So if it is a habit, you have to do it every day. And if it is just a task, you will only do it once. So by now, you probably agree the habits aren't built in 1 day. They are built through repetition. But as parents, we all struggle with consistency. That's what exactly Pegasus is doing. So thank you, Gurpreet. Over to you. I believe you will be able to explain this slide.
Yes, yes, I'll do that. Thank you, Bhumika ma'am, for sharing such valuable insights and practical tips with us today. Now, many parents ask us, we understand the importance of good habits, but how to do we stay consistent? That exactly why Pegasus Wellbeing Club is created. Pegasus is an after school habit formation program designed specially for the children between 3 and 6 years of age. Our focus is not on keeping children busy with random activities. We help them build lifelong habits through meaningful, engaging experiences. Every session is carefully designed around one foundation habit, such as communication, responsibility, confidence, problem solving, or creativity. We believe habits are formed through repetition. So we introduce one habit at a time and reinforce it in a fun, age appropriate way. In just 2 hours each week, children participate in structured, joyful activities that they can continue practicing at home with their families. Our aim is simple, to help children grow into confident, independent, and emotionally strong individuals, one small habit at a time. Thank you, all dear parents, for joining us. We hope today's session inspires you to build one small habit at a time with your child. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon. If you would like to know more about Pegasus Wellbeing Club or enroll your child, please scan the QR code on your screen or get in touch with us. We will be happy to assist you. Thank you.